Happy birthday to you.
Hi, friends. So I know it's sooner than you thought I would be here, but hello. Poppy's gonna join us, and maybe she'll finally wave at you, and this can count as documentation. So if the only reason you want to watch this is to see Poppy, that's fine. I'm doing I'm doing blueberry birthday bars for Brooke. I thought it'd be fun to do an alliteration, but also because it was my neighbor's birthday the other day, and I haven't made her a tree yet because I'm a slacker and I was in school and I couldn't do it. So we're doing it now. I have some of the stuff already done just so that it's a fast video, but also because it's really easy prep that you don't really need to see the process unless you want to, and then just come over and cook with me and we'll have a fun date. So the blueberries I already have done. If you want to just use canned blueberry pie filling, go for it. Yeah. You say hi. Can you wave? No? Okay. You can use other pie filling or other fruit, but I'm doing blueberries because they're delicious. They were in the freezer and it helps with the alliteration. So I made the pie filling though. So what you do is you get the frozen blueberries, you add a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of sugar, and then you kind of just let it get thicker because that's what the cornstarch is for. Then you take it off the heat and let it cool down. So it's pretty tasty looking. I could have probably let it go a little bit longer, but it sitting here will help it thicken up a little bit too, and it's not like super pressing. You don't need to add water since they were frozen, and since blueberries have liquid in them, that'll pull out the liquid when you start cooking them. So don't worry about adding water if you're worried about your pan catching on fire or something. It's not going to happen. All the liquid just pulls out. And then we're putting it on a shortbread crust because I didn't want to go buy graham crackers, and shortbread's fun pastry, and I thought it would be tasty. So I have all that. It's just butter and flour, and it makes a pastry. The British people like to use it because it's not as sweet. So I already have it all kind of mushed together and kneaded. So all you have to do is put it in your pan. I'm using a 9x13 because that's what the recipe said to use. You're welcome to add it to whatever you want, but you're just gonna stick it in there. You're just gonna stick it in there and kind of mold it around, and you want to cook it a little bit before you put the rest of the filling in so that it actually cooks and creates the crust, because otherwise you'll have a soggy bottom, and Mary Berry doesn't like that if you watch Great British Baking Show. If not, you should go watch it. It's on Netflix and it's beautiful. But all you want to do is spread this around, get it all even on the bottom. Make sure you push it in there so that it creates the crust. It doesn't have to go up on the corners just because it's cheesecake, so it's gonna just fill the gap anyway. Yeah. You got some more Cheerios? Here you go. But you want to bake it beforehand so that it creates that crust. Also, I got a KitchenAid for Christmas. I'm so excited to show it to you. That's also partially why we're making the videos, because I want to show you my cute KitchenAid. So I'm like a real adult chef now because I have a KitchenAid, and it's like a mint seafoamy color. It's real cute. My mother-in-law likes me. All right, so this is as flat and even as it's gonna be. So since we're just par baking it, you don't want to put it in there for like forever, but it's just at 325. I'm about gonna put it in there for probably, I don't know, 10-ish minutes since it's pretty thin. And then I'll show you my KitchenAid when I get back. Don't go anywhere. We're back. Here's the pastry. It's still pretty pale because we only did it for 10 minutes, like we talked about. So it'll cook more once we put the other stuff on top, but you wanted to get it started. Here's my cute KitchenAid. And then we've got 2 blocks of cream cheese in there. You want to put 2 eggs in it and get those creamed together. You want to make sure your cream cheese is at room temperature or it will be lumpy and sad. Nobody wants sad cheesecake. Okay, there's so many different speeds and it mixes better than my other one, like by a lot. It's nice. Okay, and then where's my recipe? You add some sugar and some vanilla, a little bit of flour, and then you just mix everything together and it makes your cheesecake filling. Except for my vanilla won't come out. And you can flavor the actual filling if you want, but since we're doing the blueberries, you don't need to super worry about it. And then we're gonna put some sugar in it. Yeah. It's more Cheerios? Is that what you want? Here's your water. Okay, and then it says to add a little bit of flour. So we're just gonna add a little bit of flour. You wanna whip it till it's nice and creamy. I forget that it doesn't spin like most other mixers do. So you wanna just make sure everything's off the bottom. It should be, because the mixer actually, the whisk actually reaches the bottom, which is nice. The only reason you're baking this is because there's eggs in it. But if you want to make it like a no-bake cheesecake, which is fine, just don't put the eggs in it. It'll still do the same thing. And that tastes just dandy. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I didn't lock it. Okay. So then you just pour it onto the short crust and then you bake it. Let's see how long it says to bake it. It's to bake for 45 minutes, which is normal for cheesecake. Did I just get my hair in it? No. So bake it for 45 minutes. You can do a fun swirl. So I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like before we put it in the oven. And then we'll put it in the oven and I'll show you. Okay, so here's what it looks like before you swirl it. It could be fine, but you also would just want it to be fun and cute. So just drag your knife around in a little zigzaggy, swirly pattern. Get it all incorporated. And go lengthwise and all the fun ways. Make sure you lick your spoon after. It's an important feature. Okay, and then you just want to make sure it still stays evenly distributed, because I have a knack for making stuff uneven. So just make sure yours looks good. This isn't swirling how I want it to, but it should still be tasty. You don't want to over swirl it, because then it's going to be a weird purple color. You want to go for the nice marble block. What are you doing over there? I'm making it the weird purple, so I need to stop playing with it. Cool. So it goes in the oven for 45 minutes, and then I'll be back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I pulled them out of the oven. This is what they look like. I have a cameraman for a minute, so thanks Christian for helping me. We cut them up and we're gonna try it. The shortbread was a little hard, and next time I make them, I'm gonna put it in a smaller pan because it's all kind of thin and I wanted it more cheesecakey. But I approve this message. The shortbread is nice because it's buttery flaky crust. And it makes sure it's not too sweet, because sometimes blueberry can be overpowering or cheesecake is too sugary. So that was a good idea. But again, a smaller pan so that the cheesecake layer is thicker. But overall, I think they turned out pretty good. The blueberries are nice and sweet. Yeah. So hit me up. I'll see you later with other videos. But happy birthday, Brooke. Bye.